No. Yo. Hey. Yo. Hey. Hey.
Never heard a sad song.
Yo. Hey. Hey. Yo. Hey. Hey.
Never heard a sad song.
Yo. Hey. Hey.
How is it going, everybody? Back at it again with another year of college COD. Okay, Ohio COD's back. You know, we got a little upgrade. We got TJ Sways over here,
Yep.
joining the roster. And Zuconix is also from last year as well. He only played a few matches, but I'm here tonight alongside my good friend Dante Corpse.
Yes. So, for those that are wondering why it looks a little bit different, the reins have been handled to me for production for tonight. So, you're going to have to bear with me. I threw everything together last minute. But, Zalian, I'm loving what I'm seeing. Again, this team, what'd they finish last year? I know we reached regionals. How far did we make it?
We got the nationals, brother. We
Oh,
made top
nationals.
32. Yeah,
That.
top 32. I mean, regionals we did okay in, and then we actually got, I think, DFR'd in in nationals. That's okay though. We lost to California State Fullerton in round one, and then I think in the elimination bracket we lost to Ohio State, and Ohio State had a really good run.
Yeah.
So if anyone was going to knock us out, Ohio State, you know, I feel like we were okay with that. You know what I mean? But not this year, because like I said, we got a nice little upgrade. TJ's on the team now. You've been liking what you've been seeing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I've been
you know,
loving what I've been seeing out of Broby, Hazzy, Zuconix, the three that are returning. We didn't see much of Zuconix last time, but obviously had to step in around the regional national stage. And, you know, he showed out what he could, especially with not being in the scene and being with the team all year. So, again, he was phenomenal on the maps that I got to see out of him. And speaking of maps, this is going to be a fun one tonight. Colossus, Den, Scar, Den, and Exposure to round out this series. Tell me, what are you loving about this Colossus and how Ohio is going to match up this series on it?
Well, I mean, I feel like Colossus is kind of just one of those maps where when we were doing vetoes with Ashland, we really were starting to realize that there's not too many maps we don't mind playing. And so, you know, whenever the bans and stuff were happening, we were like, Colossus came up, and this is their pick, by the way, and we were just like, all right, I mean, that's cool with us. So, I mean, hopefully things play out okay. I do know Broby during scrims against California Polytechnic was doing a really good job. We got a 4-piece. So, I mean, I'm feeling pretty confident in our boys here on this map.
Yeah, as they're getting right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, colors are going to be flipped for this map one, but The headers on the stream will be correct. So your purple arrows are your Ohio Bobcats, and the green arrows are going to be the Ashland Eagles for this map 1. And already they're fighting for statue control, as they should. I'm interested to see how many subs will be pulled out because, again, this team so far seems ubiquitous in the roles. Everybody seems to be, you know, filling in and picking up the Dravix or the M15 where it sees fit. Are you like... Do you have that knowledge of being like the team manager / coach of what they're going to do on this Colossus?
Yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of an insight. Like I said, it's pretty early on in the season, you know, but I will say, so TJ, you know, being new on the team this year, he is going to be kind of filling the main AR role. Like, you'll never see him on a sub unless he picks stuff off the ground or something. But Zukonix as well, he usually does play main AR, but with TJ being in that role, Zukonix is kind of going to make that switch a little bit. You'll probably see him pull out a sub on some of these hills, some of the maps as well, so look out for that. But it's interesting because I've never really seen Zukonix play anything with a sub, so see how things play out.
And now, as your Ohio Bobcats going to try and break the hill, TJ and Broby find the kills in the backside. Broby's going to allow to get into the back. There's the fell sweep. He finds 3, and it's clean house. The AR is starting to set up as well, and a great break on a P2, which is known as a money hill on Colossus. You're going to get about 25 to 30 seconds of solid time. You're going to blossom that lead back up to about 30 seconds if you're Ohio. They did a phenomenal job, and off to the rotation, it looks like Broby's on a tear. 10-2 on the 5 spree. Hold on. I forget his name. Something McGriffith, but he's going huge.
His name's Kieran. That's Kieran Broby right there. Yeah, 10-3 was so close to that hellstorm before getting wiped out. But this is one thing that I wanted to note that I saw a little bit during scrims, and particularly on this map, is our guys do a really good job at getting the hill control, and then afterwards pushing up the map and kind of keeping the pressure on the spawners that come up. And you kind of saw it there with Broby and with Patsy. They're taking turns doing that, and it kind of just keeps the pressure really heavy on the other team, makes it really hard for them to break out of their spawn.
As now, it is going to be your Ohio Bobcats up to a 30-point lead and counting. Has going to play the close corner on time with the help of teammate Broby. This duo, lifetime long duo, you should say, at least in the college scene. It's been a couple years now that they have teamed. The chemistry is there. They protect each other's backs. TJ at range, able to put the damage down, not able to find a kill, and now you have to focus on this rotation. Broby chows out the front side of the hill, and I love to see this man go to work. He's such an exciting sub to watch. But also, I noticed something last year, Zalian. He had a tendency to wean off later in the season. I want to see Broby kind of keep a consistent mindset as he goes huge, 17-4 already through this first rotation of hills.
I know he's having a great time so far. He's a very composed individual, you know. I mean, I'm sure we'll hear it if we go through listening. But, I mean, if you've heard anything last year, he's a very composed individual. He popped a 4-piece on this exact map in scrims, right? And he was so monotone. He was like, yeah, guys, check out this wallbang. I just hit, like, he was just so monotone about it, even though he's dropping 3 and 4 pieces. Like, right there, he's probably just like, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't get excited. But like you said about weaning off towards the end of the season, a couple reasons for that, really. I mean, we played harder opponents, as on, of course, but a lot of roster kind of switches and stuff last year, and I feel like that happens every year, but hopefully not this one. That kind of throws a wrench into the whole team dynamic. So he's doing well with this one though. So hopefully things will just kind of stay the way they've been these past few weeks as we go through the entire season, because Hazzy's there to back him up too. Like, Hazzy's the kind of guy who's not going to drop the crazy number, like whenever Broby is. They kind of just play off each other really well, and you'll see that as this map goes on. If Broby's not pushed up, it's Hazzy.
Yeah, we'll see what this duo can bring, as well as TJ, Hazzy, and Zukonix. Again, the other half of this roster rounding it out. Marty able to find a nice couple, and again, it's been a slow start out of Ashland. You look at the KD department, there's a couple players that are close to even, but Miss Tasmims and Exodus are both double negative right now. Not something you want to be on a Colossus because it's a barn burner of a map. You have to have that slaying presence if you want to succeed. And that's going to be the biggest talking point heading into this next rotation. They were not able to find the rotations on a P2, P3, P4, and they got broken pretty easily. So that is what you're going to look for, the mid-game adjustments. I'm just excited. This year's going to be a fun one. And a little bit about Ashland, they have a little bit of a spark in them as well. This roster, I think, is a core 4 now for the second time, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they have switched things up a bit. I know Exodus was on the team last year. We saw Prometheus in the lobby. He was also on the team. I think he's just in the coaching role now, but he was really good last year. They had a good team last year. I think they had two of them actually, the varsity and the league. I'm not too familiar with Shady, Marty, or Mr. Mims, but I mean it seems like Shady and Marty are kind of trying to keep the pace up, and Exodus and Mr. Mims are kind of struggling a little bit. They're not going to be able to break in right here, as OU's going to keep the spawners in the back. You see number 7 and 8 has CJ coming off spawn in the back. So map control firmly in the hands of Ohio U. Marty trying to do something about it, but he's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Zuconix going out with the pistol. One thing I want to mention about Zuconix and the pistol, okay? This guy, when you watch him shoot the pistol, it feels like he's using some kind of strike pack or some kind of whatever. He actually has a fast trigger finger. Like, that is insane, and he does a good job with it. But as they transition over here towards the boat side hill, OU is kind of getting wiped off the map here. But thankfully, this is one of those hills, like you had mentioned before, that's just kind of it's kind of tough to keep control of. You don't have the AR presence there, and you know, that's what you see Ashland doing pretty well right now. They're kind of keeping control of that. Although OU is in the hill, Ashland's preparing for it.
Yeah, Zuconix just trying to play his life with leads and trophies. On the side of Ashland Eagles, they have plenty of, so they're going to rally to this hill, and they're going to be comfortable just being confident in the chows. Shady trying to do just that, but, oh, he is not the real one, and he cannot stand up, as now Ohio COD going to press out the map, like you said, already going through the middle. They pushed out the back spawns for P4. Has he turns around because he knows that they spotted nobody in the backside, and honestly, this is a great time to get a listen in with Ohio COD.
I have the left, I have the left, I have the left.
P1
Yeah, one's
shit
P1,
on.
jumped out of P1.
What's
Nice.
coming
Nothing
left?
to the
One
left.
statue, one
Nothing
statue,
to the
watch
left.
out, watch out, left
Love
side,
in
right.
front.
I'm gonna challenge him deep, I'm gonna challenge him deep. I don't see this
Watch your
guy,
front,
bro.
watch your front,
I
watch
got
your
your
front.
front. Watch on the way.
Hey, back left.
I'm out of
bro,
ammo,
back
I'm out of
left.
ammo.
Shady.
Close, I'm out of ammo.
Shady's in the
That's
back post.
Last
Shady's
guy's
One
front
more.
too, I don't have a gun.
Wait, he does
nice,
the
last
best.
guy's front. I'm going
Front
out
dead,
P1,
front
boys.
dead.
I'm gonna
I got a health
guy.
zone.
Yeah,
I'll
should all be
bullet.
P1. I'm nading your
I'm out of
intersection.
ammo. I've got 10 bullets.
I got trophies.
More P1. One more P1 on me.
They're gonna spawn behind me now. Every
P1,
kill you
P1.
get gonna spawn behind me.
P1 dead.
Yeah, they flipped, they flipped.
It's fine.
I think.
I'm done.
2P2.
I'm on.
One
P1 are now pushing through. Two, one more there.
Good, I'm just holding
On
statue.
him.
A bullet. Not a bullet.
Trying to nade him.
Push him
Trying
up.
to nade him.
He's on time.
He's
Statue.
in our corner. He's in our corner.
Statue in time right now.
Yeah, you can. Yo, one's
Smart
in green,
board,
one on
smart
time.
One's one's green. Jumping up time right now. Till time.
That was a listening nonetheless right there by your Ohio Bobcats, and I loved what I was hearing. It was really just pushing out the map, how they were kind of reading it. It was Zuconix that was kind of being the leader there and saying, like, hey, I haven't seen anything. Broby as well when you're watching the flank. Zuconix able to get a nice double. They're 4 points away from winning this map. Hazy cleans up the rest, and just like that, 250 to 90 is the scoreline for your map 1.
Yeah, they did a great job there, kind of closing it out. I feel like after the first set of hills, the first rotation, I mean, things just kind of fell into use after that point. I mean, after they tried and they had control for a couple of those hills there, but I think they just really struggled to find a foothold there, and OU made them pay for it. You see, like, the good score line there, a nice 100 point club for OU.
Taking a look at the stats, nonetheless, Hazy 22 and 17, TJ 23 and 15. But it's the young man of the evening, Bro B. Can he be ever more bold and ferocious as he had 3,600 damage? Oof, what a way to start off a map 1 and a great one of this series. Breaking it down, though, we're heading into a map 2, a Scar Search, where, again, you're like, hey, there's a clear difference in the slaying power. And honestly, on this map, or sorry, it was a Den Search. There can be some fugazi in Search, though. There's a lot of teams that always bounce back after map 1 of Zalian, and I'm excited to see how Ashland fares on this Den Search.
Absolutely looking forward to it, man. I mean, Den is kind of one of our stronger maps. Thankfully, it didn't get banned during the veto process. But like I said, I mean, pretty much every map is a strong map for us.
That's not what I heard from TJ, man.
That's not what you're.
So-
TJ is a very humble guy. All right, TJ will be like, "Oh yeah, we're struggling on, no, we're we're doing fine." TJ's just kind of he's a humble fella.
Oh yeah, he is a humble fella. He's a interesting one as well. You just talk to him a little bit and you get a sense, and you're like, all right, you've been around the block every now and then, but on Den, it's gonna be a fun one because I'm excited to see how Broby and I think Hazy will play through the middle of the map. It's gonna be an interesting one just because a lot of the timings on Den do come from how you play through the middle of the map and how those subs. I mean, very similar to like if you watch the league like Real or Simp, they're able to hit those early routes, and that dictates a lot of the pace on the offensive side of things, but also on defense. Sniper, who are we gonna see bring out that boomstick and make the biggest impact as well?
Dude, see that was a discussion that had to be had. I mean, I think the rules are similar to the CDL where you only have it for I think 2 lives, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. 2 lives, 2 lives.
You only have it for 2 lives. So, I mean, there was some discussion on who's really going to be pulling it out. It's not going to be one of the sub players. TJ and Zuconix, they were kind of talking, who's going to pull it out. Zuconix has sniped a little bit in the past, back in Vanguard, actually. So, way in the past now. But TJ also very capable with a sniper. I'm not really sure who's going to pull it out. If I had to say one, it'd probably be TJ. He's Mr. Kind of Do It All. But we'll see. Den is a pretty good map for sniper. I mean, there's not too many lanes to work with, and so I mean, we'll see what happens. But hopefully, TJ can hit a nice little sniper too.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe Zuconix with that trigger finger. We talked about how fast he is with it, and sometimes he can rely on it when it goes to that sniper and that first shot misses. So we'll see as again. It's going to be Zuconix that pulls it out. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Colors are flipped again, but your team headers are correct. Hopefully we're on it, and everybody going to group up for Ohio COD. First round of this search. Smoke is out from Broby. We'll see if Big Z, through the middle of the map finds anything.
It looks like he switched off of that sniper rifle. I'm not sure if that was after he checked mid lane or if that was right after pulling out the sniper initially, but Hazy going to open up with the first blood here, and that's going to kind of open up more space for Ohio U to put some bomb pressure down over towards this B site. But the sniper coming in from Ashland is going to level things, and Zuconix kind of in a tough spot here. He's going to have to back down. So now, if you are Ashland, you're going to be able to push up a little bit, but the sniper got a little bit too greedy there with his positioning, and Broby's going to make him pay for that. So the bomb is going to be laid down on B. These two players from Ashland are going to have to push back through the spawn and find a way to retake a 2v3. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, that was just great out of Zuconix right there. He peeked his head to the middle of the map, and it held up both of those players to the point where Broby is able to get an angle on the backside of the Jojo. Now you're going to make something out of nothing here if you're shady. In a 1v1, do you expect a close corner? TJ sways! He's able to clutch up. And that's what that man does. That's why he's brought into this program right here. When it matters most, you have Broby to at least affect the front lines. TJ to at least clean it up as well.
TJ, like I said, very capable individual. Look, he has a sub out right now. You're not going to see that too often, but has the sub out, able to get it done. It did come down to 1v1 in the end. Thankfully, things were able to swing in the way of OU's favor. But, if you are Ohio, you kind of want things to be a little bit cleaner than that, especially when you open up with a first blood and you were able to get the bomb down. I feel like you kind of want a cleaner round than that. So switching up things on the defense, we're going to see what happens here. Doesn't look like TJ is going to bring out the sniper. Does have some kind of flaming sword knife thing going on here. Not really sure what that is, but very cool.
Yeah, that
Zuconix, though, able to open up with a snipe, though. Okay, so we see that in the kill feed here onto Exodus. Looks like Zuconix is going to just lock down this lane completely. He sees the smoke come out from one of the Ashland players, and so he knows that something's going to happen over here. What is he going to see?
Oh, the timing out of Broby, and he finds two. Going into battle is Broby, and just like that, he shuts down the whole round. And the sniper make it the third. A little snap right there gets you excited, but no, just a great job out of Big Z. Pulls out the boomstick, shuts down an attack, a whole attack of 3 members from Ashland, and Broby cleared so much on the outside of the mini-map. He was like, hey, I'm going to hit this flank for days. Just call out the information where you see it.
See, absolutely. See, that's the power of the sniper too. Is
Yeah.
if you have that sniper, you lock down the lane, you kind of make these teams hesitate a little bit. That opens the map up for Broby and Hazzy to just like flow pretty much. They know they have him pinned down. Broby goes right behind him, gets the rest of the three players from Ashland, and now we're up 2-0. And that's what you'd love to see. So I mean, let me be honest with you here. This is the first ever search and destroy.
Yeah.
These four have played together.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was gonna bring
Doing
that up
good.
too because
They're
I'm like,
doing good right now.
I remember watching scrims of these guys, and Hazzy's like, yeah, I know S&D might be chalk just because we've only scrimmed the respawns, and I was just like, great, this is gonna be a fun year.
Yeah, but I mean, as we see here, you know, trades going back and forth. The bomb is dropped though, so who was that? Are we attacking? We are. So the bomb, we're gonna have to track back all the way to our spawn and try to get that bomb now. So I'm not sure if Ashland's aware of that, but it doesn't look like it, as they're gonna give up control and head over to this A site. So a little bit of a weird situation going on the map here, as Ashland thinks we're going A. Maybe they just don't know we don't even have the bomb yet. So
Yeah.
kind of an odd situation to be in. They're kind of looking around trying to find these players. I think they're starting to figure it out though, as they're moving towards the middle of the map.
Yeah, just that one kill coming into the deepest, darkest parts of the map. You just weren't expecting it. However, they do have Exodus through the middle, so he is going to be the first man to give any sort of information except a natural pinch. Exodus does a good job of finding the first kill in this 3v3. Makes it a 3v2 now. Numbers going their way. Everybody kind of switches positions. Nice nade out of Marty. Last man standing is Big Z, and he's
Wow.
not able to go against
Wow.
3 members of the Birds. So when a flock sticks
Great
together...
plays.
When a flock stick together, they can take down a Bobcat as well.
There you go. I mean, perfectly said there. Marty doing good things over there with the grenades and holding down that lane in mid. Just kind of a misstep from Ohio U there, trying to keep the bomb carrier in the spawn. I'm not sure what that was, but
Yeah.
I'm sure they had their reasons, and that costed them, because now they're down, or they're still up, but still 1 round separating these teams. And obviously, if you're OU, you want to kind of clean up those little mistakes. Like I said, first time playing Search and Destroy together, there's going to be a few hiccups, but things like that, little fundamental mistakes like that, will cost you rounds, and hopefully they can bounce back this round.
TJ. Sword in his hand, but again, it's a little bit of a glitch, and everybody on the map going to the medieval times is now Exodus going to try and peek. Hold on. Maybe a little bit of a red card, but nothing too suspicious just yet. Big Z with the sniper in play, and Exodus has to be aware because last time he peeked that, his head got ripped off, and somebody had a hole in their pocket as now Big Z going to shut down. Somebody in the middle of the map, that was TJ Sways, but that was Ashland just realizing, hey, we're going to flood out and trade this person with aggression. Has he redeemed himself, though, and makes it a 3v3?
He does, yeah. And I don't know if he's going to expect this, but Exodus is kind of going above him here. I'm not sure if he's going to notice that. But, you know, these Ashland players are kind of pushing through mid-map here. He is able to get one. He might get traded out. His teammate from Ashland is coming over to help him try to clean up this kill onto Hazzy. Zuconic stuck with a sniper rifle, not really able to do much. He's going to get taken down. Down to a 2v2 here. Broby able to throw out the smoke, but in the meantime, Hazzy will get cleaned up by Shady. The bomb's down. It's a 1v2 circumstance here, and there's not much you can do. Actually, no, it's not down. They have to plant still.
Yeah, he has the timing, though. Everybody's going to think this is
Oh,
a dojo
wow.
route. Broby has the timing on the planter, and he killed him just in time for Shady to second guess on the 50-50. So again, that's Broby the all-star that carries this roster. Not really carrying, but he always makes a big impact play, hard point or search nonetheless. And in the 1v2, he played the brains, the brawn, and the beauty. He got it all.
Already up to 7-2 here. Broby having himself a series already. I mean, gee, he was great in the hard point, like close to 30 kills, I believe, if he didn't, eclipse that. But here, already 7-2, was able to get that kill on the bomb planter, and it wisely backs up, because you know that the other player from Ashland is probably going to be nearby and trying to sniff you out and try to get that trade and confirm the round. But Broby wisely backs down, kind of just starts running. He knows the position he's in, and that'll bring us back up to a 2-round advantage here. Fast hit over towards A for the OU Bobcats. Now, this isn't something we've seen before in this match, and it's kind of going to catch Ashland off guard. They're kind of scattered around the map here. Number 5, though, in particular, in mid-map, that's going to be Exodus, has a very interesting choice here. What did he choose to do, back up or go? And looks like he's going to regroup with his team. So nade's starting to go down, and we'll see how things play out, but the trade's not coming through quite yet.
Broby playing his life and decides to regroup with his teammate Zukonix on the bomb site. He decides to back down from that chow, and that's going to bite you in the butt as now TJ's last alive. Is the bomb planted for him? No, the nade will roll through. It is going to be in time. He does get the planter, so the nade is in perfect placement. They re-hop the defuse. TJ, you have to check one move forward. Time. TJ for the ace. TJ for the ace.
Jay, you've got to be kidding me. Corpse, what did we just witness there?
I'll tell you this, almost perfect time. Like I will commend Ashland for automatically hopping the defuse when it got to the 1v4. But this man just played his life. He was the one that was watching the deepest flank. He was the one that was protecting the backs of OU on that setup. And when all else failed, he is the cavalry, the one-man army from Alabama. You can do no wrong with this young lad.
That's insane. See, this is the upgrade we needed in the offseason, man. I tell you. That is what we needed from the offseason, and we got it, man. You're able to pull things out like that, and that's just crazy. That was a 1v4. You don't really see that too often, especially when you know, you have all 4 players near the bomb site. So, you know, we'll see how they adjust, trying to keep their composure here, not get too excited. You're up 4-1. You love to see that, but you're getting kind of saved by these miracle plays by, you know, 1 or 2 players.
Yes.
Zukonix able to rip one onto Marty, though, and so that'll give them some space around the map, kind of push Ashland back. They're not going to have that lane to work with, too scared of the sniper, and I understand, I would be too. All right, but now that's going to push them over towards the separate lanes where Roby and TJ are going to be trying to hold this down. So, you know, if you're Ashland, you're in a tough spot here. The OU players are kind of figuring out what's going on. They're kind of seeing that it's a B hit. Zukonix, in the meantime, going to get another player. And last one up is going to be Shady. However, he's going to take 2 with him. So, interesting 1v4 here for Shady.
Yeah, he's going to reach out. I'll tell you this much, Zalian. I don't like challenge on Dojo. It's paper thin, man. It's never feels safe when you take a gunfight on that side of the map. Now, but Zukonix opens up that round with the sniper, and again, another round where I have to give props to Ashland where it's due. They stuck it. They were there on the B bomb site. They didn't back down so easily, and they wanted it to go through. However, the one fault on that setup was the person that tried to re-wrap mid or re-hold mid off that first blood out of Ashland. He gave it up. He did a deep flank to rally with his teammates through lockers, and at that point, that's when we got to see TJ at least rally through mid, and then the person that was watching mid cut had to turn his back 1 or 2 times, and then a trade happened on Broby. But now fast in this round, Shady's already in here. Look at this. Hatchet finds the first. Shady on the flank. Hold up, back to the 3v3.
Oh, wow. That was a great push out of Shady there. It's going to be a 3v2 now as he gets traded out, but the positioning, though, beautiful out of Shady. And, you know, like you said, you got to commend Ashland, you know, where you can, and they're doing a good job so far. Marty has the sniper, so he's going to pick up the M15, though. So wise choice from Marty. And it was his positioning. However, he's going to get taken out, as OU did wrap that bomb back. It was a very wise choice by them. It's going to be 1v3 for Mr. Mims to save them in this map. Can he do it?
Mr. Mims with the sniper.
Oh, he's the sniper. Okay, I thought it was Marty. So
No,
he's the sniper.
Yeah, he's the sniper, and he has it in his back pocket. Big whiff and no batter, though, on that first shot. The reload with the Jaeger doesn't roll through, and that is going to be your Ohio Bobcats that take a 6-1 victory in the search side of things on 10. And I'll tell you, they had the highlights. They had Broby snaps, 3 pieces, Zukonix boomsticks that wavered and shook the legs of Ashland. But nonetheless, it was the amazing ace out of TJ that probably kept that lead and kept that pressure, because I think it happened around, 3-1, and if he doesn't get that, it's 3-2. It's a whole different ball game, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it changes their mentality. You know, you play a little bit more carefully, I feel like, whenever you're in a closer matchup. And so kind of giving them that pressure to go up to 4-1 after that clutch was just kind of it changes the mental a little bit. It gives them a little bit more confidence, you know, especially coming off that round. I mean, I'd be playing with confidence too. If I could shoot like TJ, I'd be playing with confidence, man. And so that's what we saw, and they were able to kind of just bully Ashland out. Even though Ashland made some pretty good decisions during that search and destroy, I feel like Ohio just had that confidence, and they knew what they were doing, and they just powered their way through. And so you got to respect that too. Now we're up 2-0 against Ashland. I did see a question in chat. So, and I think this is because TJ is in Alabama. CCL players play from home or campus. It depends. You can play from home, on your own computer, whatever, or you can play on campus depending if you have a facility. We have a facility, all right. However, since COD requires secure boot and TPM 2.0 on the BIOS to be enabled, our facility computers don't have that yet, and so that's been kind of a hiccup. But anyways, they're playing from home. Everyone's playing from home. TJ, like as mentioned before, he does live in Alabama, but he is a full-time student at OU. All right, I have the transcripts. I have the transcripts.
He's got evidence. He's got evidence.
I got evidence. I got it all, man.
Don't
So-
worry. Don't worry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to send it to a quick break before this map 3 commences. Scar Overload in a bit. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're back into the action. This time, finally, colors are correct, and so are the team headers. My teammate, Zalian, will be back in a minute. He had to go tinkle. The pants could not hold it any longer, and now it's a 2-0 series lead on the Scar Overload, which I know the side TJ Sways is going to be happy to be playing this map right now. Ashland, if there's any hope, any kind of momentum to bring into this, you started picking up things in the search just a tad. There were a few rounds where you were trading out perfectly and you were getting into some 2v2 situations. On the Overload, though, anything can happen, and let's get into it as that's a clean 4 dead for the side of Ohio COD. They are going to be looking to score. They have a front blocker, and his name is Broby. Watch this. He's about to piece you up, put damage into everybody, pave the way for his whole team, and the cavalry has arrived.
Zuconix over there starting off 3-0 off the back of those shots from Broby. That's what I'm talking about here. So even though, the stats may not be pretty for 1 player, 2 players, whatever, you always have to have someone that cleans up those kills. And so Zuconix doing a good job there. Does have the Dravik, almost able to take down one before TJ takes him out. He has to get taken out by his teammate. All right, that's what I'm getting at. But, Overload coming in for control. New mode hasn't been really done before. It's kind of similar to Capture the Flag. For those at home who don't really know what Overload is, it's kind of similar to Capture the Flag. You just have to take it, you have to put the EMP to the other player's base. And a common mistake we've seen in scrims thus far, believe it or not, Dante, we'll see players try to reroute the EMP.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of one of the big talking points when we were going through scrims. Is even if you know you're probably going to die, you want to push that bomb close to their objective, as close as you really can, because that's just more time they have to spend backtracking to your base. So, if you have the bomb, don't even run. You might as well just run towards the base. Don't try to retreat, and it's really helped us out a lot in scrims.
Oh, Ohio not realizing that the device reset towards the P2 side of things. They're going to have to make their way over there, but Broby's going to utilize his time and his space around blue to set up maybe some spawn traps. He did get brought down by Marty quickly after his positioning, so you don't find anything there, and now you're going to make your way towards the device and mount up. TJ and Broby find their respective kills. He's 11 and 5 already with his presence on that first push, and now everybody's going to mount up through mid-deli.
Yeah, and you see these Ashland players on the bottom side of the map trying to work their way up, OU at the same time, trying to get through this helicopter crash, and that's a tough gauntlet to go through. I mean, if you play this map for, how difficult it is to try to build the map. So Mr. Miss kind of doing a thing, although it's still dual back here. The problem is you have these spawners coming up for Ashland, and they're able to take down OU and push them even further back into their spawn. So it's kind of causing some problems here when it comes to trying to get this device over towards Ashland's bomb site. But, they're doing okay right now, still up 2-0, but they'll all get wiped off the map, and so the MP is probably going to fall into Ashland's hand, and that's the good thing about this game mode. You have kind of a redemption built in with your spawn. You spawn pretty close to these detonation points, but if you get wipes like this, where you see Ashland just kind of playing for the kills here, they're not able to close it out. But if you are able to get those 1 or 2 extra kills from Ashland, you pretty much guarantee yourself a point.
Oh my God, TJ, he takes it. TJ, you're a madman. He recognized that nobody was through the middle of the map. He picked up the device. The kills went the way of Ohio off their own spawn. And TJ said, "See you later. I'm Devin Hester." Ah.
But playing for the win, that's what it is right there, man. So you see those things, players play for kills, they'll play for things other than the win. TJ's one of those guys, he'll try to do anything for the win. And even up 2-0, he still wants to play for the win. And then those are the kind of players that you wanna have in your squad here.
Do indeed. A Shady on the force spree is going to get behind the semi-18-wheelers, and that's going to be a score right there for the side of Ashland. They were able to segue it, and that's the hardest thing about this scar in particular. Anytime a team gets into the final third, or that 75 percentile mark, if you want to put it that way, it's almost a guaranteed score. You have a frontline blocker, and especially if you're the right side spawning team, it's so easy just to kind of get behind it and have that cover, because the timing of the players off spawn for the defense and how they have to maneuver behind that middle of the box, there's not enough timing to put enough shots in and find the kill. But here with 3 seconds left, actually as soon as I say that, it's going to reset to 30 seconds. Ohio's going to slow things down and maybe find something, as the device is in the hands with Broby. And for those at home that don't know, if he dies here, we go straightly to half.
Right, so I mean, it's really OU's round at this point. You kind of you have that where you need to put the pressure on if you are Ashland, and they're not really able to do so. Broby just kind of running up his clock here, and he will die. And as you said, the round goes to OU, so it'll be up 3-1 going into halftime.
So an early lead out of the Bobcats is able to put Ashland down. However, there were good moments. There was 2 attempts right there at Ashland where they really put pressure on the spawn. And that's gonna have to come in time. One thing I am noticing out of Ohio COD, they are lackluster on picking up lanes and flanks. And I think we saw Exodus find a big 2-piece on when he rewrapped plain side and it cleared the middle of the map, and that's why they were able to get up to those 18-wheelers. So that's something that you're gonna have to look forward to, and something that you're gonna have to shape up, as right now it's Marty and Shady that are really carrying Ashland 16-12 and 15-9.
Yeah, I mean, like you said before, they had got some nice kills, allowed them to get pushed up to the 18-wheelers, and as you can see on the bottom left side of your minimap here, getting to that key point, you're going to want to take control of those 18-wheelers there, and so they did that, led them to a point. We're going to see if OU can replicate the same success that Ashland had when getting that 1 point. TJ popping a nice little 2-piece here. We're going to have a little convoy going on. However, 2 are going to fall to the side of OU, as he's going to have to back down. And so that'll be a nice clean wipe for the side of Ashland. Broby, of course, just staying alive. You know how he does, man. And so the bomb is going to reset to the middle of the map here, and we're going to have a fresh reset.
They are indeed. Ashland trying to set up the pinch to where they keep you contained on the P2 side of things, and that's how you should do it, especially with 4 dead rolls. And that's going to be Mr. Mims that tries to at least activate. Well, he was a little bit too late, and now the player responds. Zuconix rips 2, and you're going to charge this with your TJ. Actually, you double back to the 18-wheeler, finds the kill with the Jaeger, and he's able to put it in for the 4th score for the Bobcats in this overload. And that, I don't want to say it's too early, but right now, Ashland haven't had many opportunities on scoring, so you need to make every single one count.
Right, and like you said, to piggyback off of that, it kind of seems like Ashland's just kind of been on this back foot, really. You never really look at them and say, oh, they have control. They have control of the map. Whenever they get 3-4 kills on OU, it seems like it's more of a prevent them from getting to the hill than them pushing the pace and trying to score points of their own. And you're seeing that kind of happen in real time, actually. But as we see here, we're going to have a nice Ashland possession. They're going to see this. What I'm talking about. They're backtracking. You don't want to do that now. And so thankfully they're not going to get punished because OU is kind of spaced out. But generally speaking, you're not really going to want to do that. Number two, just kind of holding on to that EMP device and just letting his teammates try to find some more space around the map. Although number five, who is that? Zukonix kind of pushed up. He's in a pretty decent position. Going to be able to try to turn around and find these players. Able to see two. Not able to finish the kill, though. So Zukonix kind of got dookied on. And so now it's going to be up to number 7 and number 6 to prevent the CMP from going in. They're doing a great job here. And so, like I said, you're going to have to get essentially 2 waves of kills if you want to score a point. The only difficult thing here for OU is now their EMP device is in their spawn. So they have to work that out before you can really start feeling safe.
And they picked it up too, so now they're at the disadvantage of having the Jaeger on Hazy. So we'll see how they roll with this situation. They might just be playing a park the bus mentality as well. With 2 minutes left, you're just going to secure this and run the clock out. It's interesting because we haven't seen park the bus much, but it's now becoming one of those strategies that's reliable to lend on. And I always find that fun because it's almost like I've seen enough matchups where teams get so close to breaking and then they just have to go through the one person that has the pistol and everybody's so weak. And the guy that has the Jaeger, that has the device, is just able to find so many kills.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a tough spot to be in, really, because Ashland has been having to push the pace this entire series, and Hazy's just going to run it in, actually, but it just kind of is difficult. They ran off a whole 45 seconds there after grabbing possession of that EMP, and so now if you're Ashland, it's I don't want to say impossible, but it's highly improbable that you'll even be able to come back at this point.
Yeah, we're getting park the bus. We're getting pull the rug from underneath your feet. What other strategy is in the playbook of Ohio COD right now? As again, going back to what they just did, it was just delay time, wait for the whole Ashland squad to overcommit. And just like I said, they pulled the rug out from underneath. That runner just took off with the device, and nobody was in plain view. Hazy brought down his...
the beautiful Semtex. You seen that?
Yeah. I did see that, but now Hellstorm's going to come through. Overload, 45 seconds to play with for the rest of this map, and I'll tell you this much. Broby's piecing up through the middle. Another 4 dead. Mathematically, it's impossible. Ohio COD trying to put you at ease. Broby going to put the 7th on the board. Only one more to at least end the game automatically. And it doesn't matter with 20 seconds left. Ashland are going to fight with their hearts.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta respect it too, I mean, even though it is mathematically impossible, you love to see the sportsmanship from the Ashland guys. They're gonna keep playing. They're gonna keep trying to get these points up. And look, it's good for stats, you know what I mean? You love to see that, but also from a sportsmanship perspective, you love to see those guys just kind of put in the work and not really putting their heads down. So, I mean, great job from both these teams here. Ohio U came out on top. I think a lot of people kind of expected that, at least for this first match, but Ashland had a pretty good showing. I like some of the stuff they were doing in Search. I like some of the stuff they were doing in Hardpoint, at least during the first rotation. But Overload, I feel like they just kind of fell apart there. And if I got 4-piece by CJ in Search and Destroy, I might fall apart a little bit too.
Many moments right there. But again, the Ashland squad coming into this maybe with some inexperience. We talked about how I thought they were a returning veteran squad, but the head of all knowing that has all eyes on the roster, Zalian, said, no, this is a squad that was good last year. They're coming into this with Mr. Mims, and I think like Shady or Marty, one of those two is kind of the inexperienced player when it comes to the CCL league. So you come in with half your squad as a veteran and half your squad as newbies, and you're going to look to just shape up a little bit, build, hit the gym, I don't know, grind the iron, and then maybe they'll pull something out.
Yeah, I mean, young squad, and you gotta tip your cap to them. Young squad, they're still trying to figure out, what works for them, what doesn't. So, like I said, it's pretty early on in the season here, but a good showing out of Ashland. By no means a bad team whatsoever. Just kind of young. They're looking to Exodus to kind of lead them, and they have Prometheus, a great player from last year, by the way, in that coach/manager spot. So, I have no worries that Ashland will be improving as the season goes on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing it for one last time. The maps of the Ashland series, a quick 3-0. The hard point, ever since the first rotation, P4 and on, they dominated. Broby slayed out Masterclass. It was TJ that showed his moments, Big Z as well, on the Den Search. And for Overload, well, it was a team effort nonetheless. Everybody started out strong and finished as one whole unit. That is going to be a quick 3-0 for this first series. Stay tuned. 10 o'clock. I don't know. Whenever we'll hop into this. I'm being serious. Very shortly. I always say their name wrong. Conestoga?
Conestoga, there you go. Conestoga up in Ontario. Yes, sir.
Conestoga, the squad from Canadian. Can we maybe see what happens with the Americans? Stay tuned, though, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you in a bit.